It was the year 2015, and I was about to be an educator at the school Selborne College. But I was more interested in being a rugby coach. And so the school gave me the under 15 bomb squad. And that year, I gave everything I could to better the team. We trained extra, we went the extra mile, and at the end of the season, we were unbeaten. Now, you may not be impressed, and ultimately, neither was I. That moment, that feeling, led me to this idea. In fact, it was a question. The question was, what if we could play for something more meaningful, more significant than just success? You see, for me, success felt quite fleeting and quite shallow. And so began the journey of what we know today as Sport for Lives. So I put them in a bus and I took them to the King's Children's Home, and I showed them the stories that were in that home. I showed them some of the devastating stories where the children's home has rescued kids from the clutches of death, really. And I said to the boys, what if we could play for these lives? What if we could score enough tries and raise enough funds to feed 10 abandoned babies for a year? For me, the beginning stages of this program was really just trying to harness social good and sport together into one pot, to try and get the boys to see something bigger than themselves, bigger than their own accolades, and to really try and use sport for social good. So over the years, we locally have raised a lot of money for children's homes, and last year was a special year. We managed to raise 660,000 Rand for a grade 8 boy last year named Obuko. And there were numerous campaigns from the Selborne College community. Dads got involved, learners got involved. We even had a grade 11 life orientation project where the guys did their life orientation project as a Sport for Lives campaign. We also saw recently the Buffalo City water polo side and the 16 side seeing a need for a kid in a children's home who has cerebral palsy and needing a walker to be able to go to school. Intelligent kid, but just never had the means to actually go to school. This team raised funds and were able to give this young girl a walker to go to school. So from a small idea, just with a group of rugby guys, we've seen Sport for Lives grow to a national level. In fact, we recently have an international school that has joined. We also have a professional rugby side that has recently done a campaign for Sport for Lives. And so in every province around the country, we've seen schools rally together to do something meaningful for others. Last year we had 110 campaigns across the country where young people were making a difference through their passion, through their sport. I think Sport for Lives for me is a bridge movement. It's a movement that is growing across the country, but it's really a bridge enabling those who have to do something with their privilege. They're able to use this sport, their thing that they're passionate about, and they're able to use it in a purposeful way. And so we're seeing bridges being built between the haves and the have-nots, the underserved communities, and those schools that I like to call centers of excellence. And we're seeing young men and women that are taking leadership to a level that it really should be in our country. And they're living way beyond themselves and doing extraordinary feats to serve those that are in need. When I see stats in our country about our schools and the state of our schools, it is really alarming and concerning. 60% of our grade 6 learners in our country are deemed functionally illiterate, meaning they almost finished primary school and they don't know how to read and write yet. Only 5% of our public schools in our country have access to rugby facilities. Right now we have a program that's running in Mtansani that employs unemployed youth. We have 30 coaches in this area. We have 15 literacy coaches that have been trained up, and we have 15 rugby coaches that have been trained up to bring sport and education to those that need it most. Meaningful change starts with you. Imagine if every school, every team, every sport, every player used sport to change the world around them. Imagine what our country would be like.